Everyone, we are back again with our latest video on SQL tutorial ABCacho by ABCacho Groups, and this is day 10 set 0.1 of 30-day SQL interview question series. And here we have a set of 10 questions, and first of all we are going to resolve the query based question, and after that we will move on to the theoretical question. So without any delay, let's move on to the first question of today's video. And this set has launched very late, so because we have some work in the morning. Now move on to the first question. So first question, what it is: so list the departments who have not hired any employee in past 2 years. So basically we need to find out those departments where hiring has not happened for past 2 years. So for this particular set, we have already created one table, which is employees table date 10. Okay, so here you can see employees date 10 table we have. Now open a new query window, and then first of all we will check the employees date table, date 10 table, and then after resolve each of the queries one by one. So what data we have in employees date 10 table? So select star from employees day 10, execute this and check once. So here you can see we have the employee ID, name, salary, hire date, department ID, and the manager ID. Now we need to find out those departments who have not hired any employee for past 2 years. So the query for this will contain subquery, because by using the subquery approach we will find out the solution for this very easily. Now check the query for this. So select star from employees date 10 table, and then where hire date, well, no, not hire date, where department ID. So we need to find out those departments where the hiring has not happened for past 2 years. So department ID, where department id in, then select department id from employees 10 table, employees date 10 table, and then group by department id having. So basically what we are going to check, those department who where the hiring date is less than past 2 years. So having hiring date, max of hiring date, so maximum hiring date, because multiple records for each department can be possible. So as you have seen, we have multiple records for each department. So here we need to find out the maximum hire date. Maximum hire date should be less than what? Date add. So for writing 2 years back, how we will write? So date add, then year, comma, -2 with the get date. So get date will return date time data type. So we need to convert it into date first, because higher date is in date data type. So first of all, cast the get date to date. So cast get date as date. Okay, and now this is the final query that we need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. Now execute this and check the output. Okay, so here you can see Alice, and the department ID is 1, where the hiring date, maximum hiring date is 2022 15th March 2022, which is means older than past 2 years. Okay, so this is clear. And if you don't understand any question, then let us know in the comment section. We will try to resolve your query there only, or we will try to make a separate video if needed. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have? Next we have the second question. And one thing to note, like for subquery and date time function, we have already created videos on our channel. So that link you will find in this video description, and that are detailed video on subquery and date and time function, by which you can make a good hold over subqueries and date and time function, and both are very important concepts in SQL that anyone must know. Okay, now the second question is like, write a query to find all employees who earn more than the average salary of their department. So this is a very good question. So basically we need to find out those employees who earn more than the average salary in their department. Okay, so the query for this will also contain subquery. So the main query for this will be like, select star from employees date 10 table, employees date 10, where, then our subquery part will come, where salary should be greater than, then the subquery will come, select average salary, avg salary, SALARY salary from employees date and table where, so where what, so this particular table we will consider as A, and then this subquery table we will consider, so this is a correlated subquery we are writing here. The inner query or the subquery is referencing the outer query, okay, or the main query. So all these details are available on our subquery video where we have means explained in detail what are subqueries, what are correlated subqueries, and what are different types of subqueries. So you must know, need to go and check that video after this particular set. So where a dot so here mark it as B, this table. So A dot department ID should be equals to B dot department ID, okay, because department wise we are checking, department wise those employee who have more than average salary as per their department. Now execute this, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. Okay, so here you can see what result we are getting for department ID 3. These are the salaries which are greater than the average salary. Now execute the sub query part first one time so that we will check what average salaries we are getting. So multi identifier department ID. So for this we need to mark it as a group by department. Okay. Now this will come as a separate query. Then only we can check. So select average salary from employee date and table group by. So here we are matching our result if that came fine or not. So group by department ID. Department ID, and department ID also we will provide here in the select statement, comma. Now execute both of them simultaneously, then what result we are getting. So here you can see for department ID 1 we don't have this particular result. So for department ID 3 the average salary is 73,000 and both the salary are greater than 73,000, okay. And for means department ID 4 the average salary is 101500 and this is coming same as that of 10, no, so it is greater 105,000, okay. So this is clear. Now move on to the next question. So next we have the third question, and these are very important questions. First and second both are very important questions, okay. So third is how to list all managers who have more than 5 subordinates, okay. So this is a very basic question. Here you need to find out those manager who have more than 5 employees under them, okay. So write the query for this. First of all, check the table. By manual entry, we will check which manager has that particular record. So select star from employees date and table and then execute this first. So here you can see manager ID 101 has more than, has around 5 subordinates in it, okay. More than 5 or equals to 5 we can mention because we don't have that much records. So equal to will also work. More than or equal to, control Z, more than or equals to, UALS equals to, both the queries will be similar, so don't worry about that if we have mentioned equals to also. So the query for this will be select star from employees date and table where, so right, like only the manager ID we will find. So select distinct manager ID where, and then distinct manager ID where, uh, no, like here you need to write count also. So distinct of manager ID, remove this distinct, like select manager ID count of employee ID, okay. Employee ID, or what column is this, control 4. So employee ID only we have, EMPLOYEE employee underscore ID, count of employee ID as employee count, and then having clause will come. So we need manager ID wise employee count, control R, group by manager ID having count employee ID greater or equals to 5. And this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. Now execute this and we will get the result. Okay, so employee manager ID 101 have employee count 5, so more than 5 or equals to 5 employee it has under it. Manager ID 101. Okay, so this is clear, and this is also a kind of, you can say, important question, but this is very basic question. Okay, now move on to the next question. So this can be asked to experience level around 3 to 4 year of experience people. Okay, now the fourth question is also a good question. So write a query to display employee names and hire dates in the format of name dash mmddyy. Okay. So basically for this we need to use a function which is format function. Okay. Now move on to SSMS. Paste the question and the solution for this will be very simple. Just we need to concat name and the date in the format of mmddyy. So select name, table name also we will mention so that intelligence will work for us. So select from employees 10 table, date 10 table, employees date 10 table. Now what we need, so we need the name and then concat it with the dash, so space dash. Okay, so space only you will provide here itself. Now plus format, for format. So higher date we need to format, higher date, and in which format we need to do the format, so we need to format in mm slash dd slash yyyy. Okay, and here you need to write dd and yyyy in small letter. Okay, this is mandatory, this is the format. Okay, if you write in caps all the things, then it will not show you any result, it will throw error. Okay, not throw error, but it will not provide any output. Okay, now execute this, and this is the final query that we need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. So check the output. So here you can see we are getting name slash date of hiring. Okay, name slash date of hiring. And what if we are going to provide this as caps yymdt? So now convert it to caps dd and yy, dd yyyy. So here you can see we will not get, we will get the output very bad. Okay, means it will convert it to ddyy. It is means taking it as a what, varchar, and providing the direct the means alphabet instead of providing the date. Okay, so this is clear, this will convert your formatting, means unsuccessful. Okay, this is clear to everyone what result we are getting if we don't provide the proper format. So like this we will get, and if we are going to provide the proper formatting, then we are getting the exact result. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next we have the fifth question. Okay, so how to find out employees whose salary is in top 10%? So this is basically very simple question. If you know that in top function you can apply percentage also. So basically top only numerical value we will not provide, you can also provide the percentage, like how much percent of data you want, that also you can mention in the top clause itself. Okay, so we will check how to apply this top 10%. So the solution for this will be very simple. Select top 10% percent, top 10%. Okay, percent star from employees date 10 table. Okay, and then order by salary in descending order. Why in descending order? Because we need the top 10%, means salary in top 10%, salary should be highest. Okay, now this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. So what we are doing here, we are selecting top 10% from the employees day table and ordering our salary by descending to get top 10% of highest salaries in the employees table. Okay, now execute this, and here you can see we are getting Eve record, and this is the salary of Eve. Okay, and basically how much record we have in employees day table, so that also we will check. So select star from. So there are different ways also to resolve this particular question using entile windows function and all, but this is the very simple method, so you can apply this only, because this question will come only to check your basic skill, not your advanced skill. Okay, now select star from employees, and if the interviewer will tell not to use top, instead of using top, then you can use entile also, so that we will also show it to you here only. Okay, so here you can see we have 9 records, so the 10% will be almost around one record. Okay, so how to use entile for this entile windows function? So select star from star and then comma, then we need to provide entile. So entile, what it will do, so it will distribute the result set into the number of parts we will provide to it. Okay, and this is the advanced concept in SQL. This is windows function. Entile comes under windows function, and for windows function we already have a means detailed video on our channel, and also some question paper sets also we have for windows function, so that you will go and check, and the link also you will get in the description, video description. Okay, so select star comma entile and tile entile, and then in 10 parts we need, so 10% we need, so 10 parts, and then over, and in over clause we need to mention order by salary in descending order DSC. Okay, and mark it as rank RNK. Okay, we basically entile what it will provide the output. This is not the complete query, so first of all check the output for this. So it is providing all the records divided into 10 parts. So 10 records we don't have, so it has divided it into 9 parts. Now here you are getting all the ranking for them, and now what we need the top one result, so rank 1 we need. So basically we will convert this particular query into a derived table and check the result that we need. So select star from what, star from this particular query, mark it as a derived table, so a, and then where rnk is equals to 1. Okay, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer if they ask you to use other method than top. Okay, so basically by using top it is very simple, and if they will not tell you to use top, then you can use the entile function, entile windows function also. Okay, now execute this. So here you are getting the same output. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, so sixth question. So the theoretical part is started, so we will now increase the length of the screen so that it will be visible to you also properly and to us also. Now increase the length. Now move on to the sixth question. So what we have, which file format is an alternative for XML in SQL Server? So basically these are advanced question, and for those who have around 5 to 10 years of experience, those people can be asked these particular questions. Okay, below that experience level I don't think they will ask about XML formats and all. Okay, so you can know the knowledge, you also have the knowledge for this, because beginners should also have all the knowledge, so that means if asked they can also answer these questions. Okay, now start the question. So which file format is an alternative for XML in SQL Server? So in SQL Server, JSON, JavaScript object notation, one second. So so in SQL Server, JSON, JavaScript object notation, this is the full form of JSON file, serves as a popular alternative to XML for storing and exchanging structured data. And SQL Server has built-in function to parse, query, and manipulate JSON data efficiently, similar to how it handles XML. Okay, so basically JSON is the alternate option for XML file formats. Okay, and JSON is often favored for its lightweight syntax and compatibility with web applications, while XML is more robust for complex data structures requiring extensive metadata. So if we are working with SQL Server, we can use functions like OpenJSON or JSON value to interact with JSON data seamlessly. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, the seventh question. So why JSON is becoming important than XML in SQL Server? Okay, so JSON is becoming more important than XML in SQL Server and many other systems due to several key advantages. What are the advantages? So number one is lightweight syntax. So JSON has a simpler and more compact structure than XML, which reduces data size and processing overhead. Okay, and number 2 point is better performance. So parsing and querying JSON is often faster and more efficient compared to XML in SQL Server. Okay, now the third point, native support in SQL Server. So Microsoft has enhanced JSON handling in SQL Server with functions like OpenJSON, JSON value, and 4JSON, making it easier to work with JSON data natively. Okay, the fourth point is web friendly. So JSON is the standard data format for APIs and web applications, making it compatible with modern web developments. So basically all the modern web developments like Angular and all are using JSON format files only. Okay. Now, fifth point is ease of use. So, JSON's readability and ease of integration with programming languages like JavaScript make it a preferred choice for developers. Okay, so these are points are enough for determining why JSON is better than XML. Now, move on to the next question. So, next what we have, the eighth question. So, what do you understand by temporal data support in SQL Server? Okay, so the answer for this is temporal data support in SQL Server refers to the ability to track and manage historical data changes over time. Okay, and this feature known as temporal tables allows SQL Server to automatically store versions of record, making it easy to review past states of data without complex manual tracking. Okay, and the key features of temporal tables are: number one is automatic history tracking. So SQL Server maintains a history table that stores older version of records whenever they change. Second point is time based queries. So you can query data as it existed at a specific point in time using for system underscore time queries. So this particular query we can use for system time for getting the data as it is existed at a specific point of time. Okay, now the third point is auditing and data analysis. So auditing and data analysis helps track changing of auditing purposes or analyze historical trends. And the fourth point is recovery and rollback. So easily restored data to previous states in case of accidental changes. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, the ninth question. So what is a row level security in SQL Server? So this is a very important question. Basically row level security you need to manage also while you are going to work in the organizations, and for interview perspective also these questions are mostly asked. Okay, now the answer for this is row level security RLS in SQL Server is a security feature that restricts access to specific rows in a table based on user identity or roles. Okay, so based on the user role or access that they have that has been provided to that user, we can control row level security in SQL Server, and it ensures that different users or roles can only see or modify the data they are authorized to access. And the key feature of RLS are: number one is fine-grained data access control. So user can be restricted to see only certain rows in a table. Now second point is security policies. So uses security predicates to define access rules. Third point is transparent enforcement. So security rules are applied automatically without requiring application logic changes. And the fourth point is user based filtering. So access can be granted based on login credential or specific attributes. Okay, so basically how it is going to work, so how it works. So the number one point is define a function to filter rows based on a user identity. And point two is create a security policy that applies to the function to the table. And the third point is users querying the table will only see rows that meets the security criteria. Okay, now move on to the last question of today's video. So what it is, what do you understand by polybase in SQL? Okay, so this is also a very good question. So answer for this is polybase in SQL Server is a feature that allows you to access and query external data sources using T-SQL without needing to import the data first. So it enables SQL Server to act as a bridge between relational and big data environments, making it easier to integrate diverse data sources. So key features of polybase are: number one, query external data. So you can query Hadoop, Azure Blob Storage, CSV, Parquet, and even other SQL servers directly. So basically, using this polybase, we do not need to import the data first for performing queries or performing operations on that particular data. We can use the polybase to directly query external sources also. Okay. Now the second point is seamless data integration. So Polybase allows you to join external data with SQL Server tables using standard SQL queries. Okay. Now the third point is big data connectivity. So helps integrate SQL Server with big data platforms like Apache Hive and Spark. And the fourth point is no need for ETL. So you can access external data without moving it, reducing the need for traditional ETL, extract, transform, and load process. Okay. And the last point is performance optimization. So Polybase uses parallelism to improve query performance when dealing with large data sets. Okay, so this is it in this particular set. Thank you for watching, and do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Many more videos are on the way, and thank you for watching, friends. So if you need the table scripts and data, then you will find it in on our Telegram channel also. You can visit through this particular scan code, or you will find the link in our video description and also on our channel description. And very soon we are going to launch a master series on SQL that will cover each and every part related to SQL and relational databases. So be ready for that. So once we reach a milestone of 500 subscribers, then we are planning to launch that particular series so that more and more people will be benefiting from that particular series. So thank you for watching. Thank you everyone.